Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. Let's take you through to Jaipur, where French President Emmanuel Macron has landed. These are visuals coming in from the Jaipur airport now. The Prime Minister will also be in Jaipur shortly, and the two are, of course, expected to indulge in a few meetings today itself. The French President is going to be India's guest of honor for the Republic Day parade. These are some of the dignitaries welcoming the French President at the airport. As I mentioned, the Prime Minister will be landing shortly. The two are expected to do a small roadshow as well. My colleague Abhishek Jha is joining us from Jaipur. Abhishek, tell us more.
Well, there is an excitement for the arrival of French President Emmanuel Macron, who has just landed a while ago in Jaipur. His first program is going to be visiting the Amer fortress or the palace of Amer, where he is going to be welcomed with a very colorful folk and dance. The local music flavor is going to be all around him. He's also going to have some interaction with students and social activists, French nationals, and most likely he may have some interaction with media also there. But for now, we know that the state government and the state government has left no stone unturned to impress and to greet French president in the best possible way. We have learned that there are going to be some very decorated camels and elephant also who are going to accompany all those musical and dance extravaganza that is going to be there. But after that, the first bilateral engagement or the bilateral meeting that French president is going to actually have with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that will start from Jantar Mantar, and from there they will go to Hawa Mahal, where of course there will be some sightseeing and they will spend some time there. About a kilometer road, the stretch of road has been all decked up, and the security has been beefed up, where both the leaders are going to have road show or Shobha Yatra. They will be sitting in an open jeep and waving to the people lined up on both the sides, and the entire arrangement have been made there to ensure that they do have the best of the visuals of this historic city. The Hawa Mahal to the Sanganeri Gate, this 1 kilometer stretch will be the road show of the French president, and after that they will go to Rajabag, where Prime Minister Modi will be hosting him for a private dinner. So that is the broad outline of French president's engagement, a few hours that is going to spend in Jaipur.
Right, Abhishek, just stay with me. I want to go across to former diplomat Ashok Sajjanhar also joining us. Mr. Sajjanhar, what do you reckon is going to be the biggest message that Emmanuel Macron is sending, not just to Indians but to the world, by arriving in India for this two-day visit? It was a bit of a late invite as the chief guest for the Republic Day parade. Very publicly it had come out that the US president was unable to come, and the invite was sent to the French president and he obliged. What do you think is the biggest message Emmanuel Macron is sending?
I think the biggest message is that the relationship and the friendship between India and France, it's a time-tested partnership, that there is a great measure of trust and confidence between the two countries, and the two countries are supportive of each other. And today, when we see in this environment, in these circumstances, when there is so much of uncertainty in the world, there is much of turbulence in the world, you need strong countries which are standing together. Both the countries have also demonstrated that they follow the path of strategic autonomy. And so whether it is dealing with all these challenges, dealing with the, as far as the economic problems in the world are concerned, as far as the Indo-Pacific is concerned, because both the countries have assets in the Indian Ocean as well as in the France has assets also in the Pacific Ocean. So I think on the Indo-Pacific area also, the stance of both the countries is very similar. I think it is a partnership that is remarkably free of tension, free of problems. France is one country, although it's a part of the West, it's a part of G7, it's a part of NATO, but it has never taken a stand against India, whether it was in 1998 against the Indian nuclear test, or it is as far as the position of India in terms of its relations with Russia right now are concerned, in terms of our imports of oil from there. France has never said anything, either openly or otherwise, criticizing India, against India, trying to pressure India. So I think there is a huge element of bilateral understanding and trust and confidence between the two countries. And I think this is the message that as far as there are different areas, whether it is defense, whether it is nuclear energy, whether it is space, it is innovation, it's technology. Both the countries are working together very well. But I think
you mentioned strategic autonomy, and one episode that comes to mind, Ashok Sajjanhar, is the recent Russia-Ukraine conflict, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned how France is part of the G7 and the West Bloc and NATO, but the French president's position on the Russia-Ukraine conflict was more pragmatic than some of the other Western countries, which is what India's approach has also been. Could be for different reasons. India, of course, has a very time-tested tie with Russia as well. But France was also one of those countries led by Emmanuel Macron that, was pushing for more pragmatic solutions.
No, you're absolutely right. You would recall that right till the last day, I think France was engaged. He even traveled to Moscow, he traveled to Kiev, he had interactions with the leadership in both the countries, trying to bring them to, to a common understanding, common position as to how the war could be avoided. I think President Macron did not leave any stone unturned to get the two countries together. But of course, he did not succeed, he failed. But still, even after that, he has been, whether it is to come to some sort of a negotiated settlement or to have a ceasefire on this, in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, he's been working on that and he's been articulating his position exactly like Prime Minister Modi told Mr. Putin in Samarkand that this is not an era of war and we should try to resolve this conflict through dialogue and diplomacy.
Right.
So I think the position of both these countries on all these major international issues, if you look even at the Indo-Pacific strategy of that France has come out with, there is a huge similarity between that of India and France. And if you look at even, the trilateral exercises between France, India, UAE that we are conducting, I think there are so many areas where we are working together, and this visit, I'm sure, will give a further fillip to our cooperation, collaboration, particularly, I think, also in the area of nuclear energy, definitely in the area of importing this 26 Rafale jets that we have been speaking about, but I think also in other significant areas.
Oh, absolutely. Big visit. It's always going to have a lot of meaning that it carries with this. Ashok Sajjanhar, just stay with me. I want to go back